Hey everybody, the Destroyer here, and welcome back to another cast of the Rise of the Witch King, patch 2.02, version 5.0.1. Today we have a 1v1 on Fords of Isen II. So, let's get into it, shall we? Our first player is DJParson as the Men of the West in the top left, and his opponent is SaMuRaI as Isengard at the bottom right. Alright, so Isengard vs. Men on Fords of Isen II. Let's see how they fare and who comes out on top. So, SaMuRaI going for a couple furnace starts there. And, of course, DJParson going to do the same thing with his farms. 2 farms, and so he's probably going to go for a third. And then get a barracks or something like that, I would imagine. Which is pretty standard stuff for a opening game. And he's going for a barracks, yes indeed. We have an Uruk pit start for SaMuRaI, though, as opposed to a Wildman start. So that's interesting. We'll see how that works out for him. He could go for Uruk swordsman, or he could go for crossbows. I'm kind of curious as to what he wants to do. He could go for pikes as well to creep, which is probably what he's going to do. Nope, he's actually going to go for those. That makes sense, I guess. Uruk are very strong, so he should do well. I'd imagine both players have bought a war chant and a rally call respectively. Indeed they have. They're both even on farms there, it looks like. About continuing to build their farm production as they should. DJParson has his Gondor soldiers on the way. And of course, we have our first battalion of Uruk coming out right here from SaMuRaI. Out he goes. So he's going to send his guys at the base of DJParson undoubtedly, and DJParson, of course, is going to do the same to his base. They'll probably clash in the middle somewhere. I don't know if one of the players will choose to chase after the other or not. Sometimes it is not worth chasing. Sometimes you just want to bypass each other and go for each other's buildings. Sometimes it's better to stop and engage like that. Uruk are faster, though. Of course, when they were in shield wall, they'd be moving slower anyway. Looks like Parson does have a battalion ready to engage these, but of course, these Uruk swordsmen will cut them down since these do not have a rally call. These will do a lot more damage. And it looks like SaMuRaI is ready to intercept with some crossbows, which will do pretty good damage even if these do have a rally call. Well, maybe not. Once that rally call wears off, though, they will take substantially more damage. And it looks like SaMuRaI is making good use of these Uruk. If he can get this farm, that would be a great pickup for him. And he does indeed. They actually leveled up to level 2 as well. Now he's going to try and move after another farm or something of that nature. He wants to get away from this arrow tower for sure. If you can actually get these out of there, they will start regenerating as well. Looks like he's doing just that. Looks like SaMuRaI is throwing on a wall hub to save his builder. And he actually manages to stop DJParson from taking out anything. And we have a Wormtongue. Interesting. That is unusual. Not every day you see a quick Wormtongue get brought out, but I guess we'll see how that works out. I'm kind of curious as to how this plays out. Crossbows and Wormtongue against some Gondor soldiers. Obviously the crossbows and the Gondor soldiers. Gondor soldiers aren't going to get the better end of that. And that will allow Wormtongue to level up safely, I think, actually. So that'll be interesting. Of course, once Wormtongue levels up, if he gets to the Corroded Allegiance, temporarily gaining control of target enemy hero, or even the backstab, which attacks enemy hero for high damage. Both of those are pretty effective against countering Men of the West heroes, or any heroes in general. We have some Gunner Knights out here from DJParson, though. So he does have some cavalry presence now. So that'll be useful for him. Especially against the crossbows. And Wormtongue is up to level 2 now. So he has escape, at least. He can get away from an attack. SaMuRaI luckily has got some Uruk pikes on the field. Although they are mixed up with the swords there. And they will fall fairly quickly to swords. because they're not good against swords because of the whole rock, paper, scissors situation that this game's stats are built off of. Looks like SaMuRaI has lost a few of his furnaces though. He lost that one, he canceled this one over here before it got destroyed. So really he has taken an economic hit. DJParson at 550, 245 of 550, we have 198 of 350. So definitely DJParson is ahead in the economic front. It looks like SaMuRaI's up to 4 power points, DJParson's up to 3. Now he has 2 battalions of Gondor Knights. As long as he's careful with them, they should do pretty good damage and allow him to pick up a lot of resource kills. Oh, he's actually got 3 battalions now. And he's beginning to move more guys across the ford. We have wargs out here, a warg pack. Interesting. Looks like he's command point capped at the moment. Warg packs are effective against swordsmen and archers, that's right. I can never remember which ones are which. The dire wolves of Angmar are good against pikemen. That's the ones I always kind of mix up. But since he's spamming swordsmen, they should be fairly effective. Also decently effective against these because they can seem to catch them. And they can't be trampled by them, of course. Making them decently useful against those as well. The Gondor Knights, that is. And Wormtongue is up to level 3 now. Who now has Venomous Words, which is essentially like throwing a Creebane over an army. So actually, not bad. I'm actually liking this Wormtongue start. It's very intriguing. It's definitely unusual. But unusual is not necessarily a bad thing. A lot of Gondor Knights are falling here in order to get that furnace. I'm not sure if that'll be worth it or not. Losing all these Gondor Knights for 1 furnace definitely would be a huge economic loss for DJParson, as opposed to SaMuRaI. The Howl ability also helping boost the damage against these Gondor Knights. Of course, the Warg Pack's attack or health is not very high, so they do die fairly quickly. They're not exactly the strongest unit in the game. Wormtongue continues to level, continuing to cut down Men of the West as he goes. Looks like he's definitely gonna need some pikemen here fairly quickly. We have a Faramir being brought out from DJParson, who's looking to bring the pain in a big way there. Faramir should be useful against the crossbows, as you would expect. Ranger heroes are generally good against archer units, I find. Looks like SaMuRaI's gonna creep the warg lair here, meanwhile sending these guys over here to chase down these Gondor Knights, it looks like. They're all pretty wounded, so they actually should be killed off fairly quickly by these warg pack. And that is a 500 resource loss for DJParson. Does that up. Looks like this warg lair is about to be creeped as well. Isengard does have some pikes here, so luckily for him, that'll help. Wormtongue uses backstab ability. As you see, it does a lot of damage. Still doing the poison. Oh, and the poison in conjunction with the crossbow bolts actually finish off Faramir. And the escape being used by Wormtongue to get out of there unscathed. Very nice play. Oh, we have alerts as well being brought out, which will be incredibly useful once he levels up, of course. Pretty much, it's going to be a real mess for DJParson to actually get much done with heroes, at least. He does have 2 barracks now, though. He's also got himself an archer range. As you see, he has Gondor archers in there. And Lurt's moving forward with some crossbows to try and do some damage. Level up Lurt's a bit. That's definitely what he's looking to do. I'd definitely say that SaMuRaI has a lead in this game. Even though he hasn't been able to harass his opponent as much, he is definitely doing better because of his heroes leveling up and probably his power point gain is higher as well. We have Arrow Volley being chosen for DJParson, who has 2 power points after that. And we have 8 power points after choosing Devastation for SaMuRaI, so he is definitely ahead in power points as well. Also, let's see who's ahead in farms. 475, 625. DJParson's still ahead in the farm production. But since SaMuRaI has himself a Devastation, that'll definitely help even the odds a little bit. Alert's up to level 3 now. Of course, he just want to get out of there. That is an overwhelming amount of men of the West. He's going to need more forces here to the ford if he wants to defend against that. Also, he wants to knock this down as soon as he remembers to. He's, of course, busy elsewhere. Otherwise, I'm sure that would have happened. You don't want to just throw your stuff down and walk away, because then something bad will happen. Like an arrow volley going down while you're going over here to knock this down or something. You gotta make sure you decide what's most important. Wormtongue's back to full health. Up to level 5, almost level 6. He doesn't get anything until level 8 though. Pretty soon it's going to be impossible for the Men of the West to actually do anything hero-wise. Faramir is going to die here fairly quickly, I think, between Lurtz and Wormtongue. All Lurtz has to do is pin him down, start shooting at him, or even berserk him down, and then Wormtongue, of course, can just run up and stab him. So really, Faramir, I feel, is going to die fairly fast. But I guess we'll see, won't we? He's probably not going to send him in there by himself. That would be absolute suicide. Looks like this furnace is going to fall here to the forces of DJParson. We have a successful wall hub. Undoubtedly being built to save his builder. It is very rare that you see someone build a wall hub and then they either leave it to build the actual wall. That doesn't really happen in a game. Walls generally aren't used. And we do have a cripple strike being thrown down on Faramir. He's just being bursted down. Look at him. It looks like he's just being machine gunned. And down goes Faramir once again. The cripple strike from Lurtz being huge. It is literally going to make it impossible for heroes to get away. He didn't even have to use the Wormtongue. He's now up to level 7 already. And then he gets to use his Crowed Allegiance as well. Not Crowed Allegiance, Venomous Words. Weakening the army of DJParson substantially, while the rest of the army over here is getting leadership buff from Lurtz, making them incredibly powerful. These Gunner Knights trying to take this out. Looks like they will succeed though. Only just... oh no, he's actually pulled away from the furnace in order to kill off these wargs. Looks like they will be successful in finishing off the wargs, and then they'll be able to take that out. Meanwhile, SaMuRaI's pushed in across the ford and he's creeped this warg lair as well. Also using a devastation right there and a nice group of trees, which is undoubtedly netted him a good amount of money. He was up to 2,000 there for a second. He's also got Fuel the Fires, so that'll be very helpful as well, assuming he's built some lumber mills. I would certainly hope he has. Wormtongue once again using his Venomous Words. Now he's up to level 8, so he does have Crowed Allegiance. So if DJParson brings out any enemy or any heroes, they're just going to get taken over and used against him for a time. And of course that will allow SaMuRaI to position his hero where he wants him to be when he wears off and allow him to be killed. So DJParson basically cannot use heroes at this point. He'll be ill-advised. But without heroes, I don't think he's going to have a chance of fighting them off the Isengard forces. So it's kind of a problem for him, I'd say. And we even have a Sharku out in the field for SaMuRaI as well, to help fight off some of these Gondor Knights. Really, you should upgrade these into War Griders. He looks like he is doing that. And DJParson has given up, actually. So there you go. It just shows the power of a Wormtongue start. Very impressive, actually. But yeah, definitely a nice little match. Nice to see a different tactic utilized to a start for Isengard. And I'd say it worked out pretty well. But anyway, guys, hopefully that was an enjoyable game to watch. And I will see you in the next cast of the Rise of the Witch King patch 2.02. See you next time.